back once again. Friends, what if one day everything on this earth ends, but only you survive, and that too in a place where the temperature is below -40 degrees? What would you do in such a situation? The story begins in 2019. During this time, we see a man named Austin sitting alone in a research center eating food. Apart from a computer, a TV, and a few other devices, he has no one with him. Actually, a few months ago, a poisonous gas accidentally spread on Earth that was so terrifying it engulfed the entire world. Gradually, over time, it began to affect the human species, and they started to decrease one by one. Those who were poor were completely wiped out as if they had become part of a graveyard. But cities like America, which cared about their people, prepared a special kind of plane for the last remaining people and said that they are setting out to find a new home. Until then, they have to stay inside this plane. But there was one person who did not want to go. He is the character of our story today who is actually battling cancer. He was born on this earth, so he will die here and will not run away like others. He had immense wealth. If he wanted, he could have booked an entire plane for himself. But today, he is living his deserted life alone. He is treating himself with his own hands, cooking for himself, and eating with his own hands. Every day of his life goes like this. Wake up in the morning, eat throughout the day, then get information about the conditions of the earth, and at night, sleep while gazing at the dark clouds. But today, I'll tell you that August wasn't always like this. There was passion in his life. Every young man has the drive to do something for himself and his country. August was also one of them during his youth. He stayed away from all the pleasures of life and was lost in the world of books, because somewhere he knew that the way life is passing in today's era, the day is not far when we may have to leave our homes. Look, that day has come today. Everyone has left. Only he remained. When he discovered this new home, a new planet, he held a big event to talk about it, in which he explained everything in great detail. After all, why? It's become necessary for us to leave this earth now. How gradually the air here will become polluted for us. August tried to explain every particle of that planet easily to everyone, which made them understand everything, and everyone praised his effort and discovery. But if anyone was most impressed, it was Jean. But she was not impressed by his work, rather by his ability to explain and his behavior. When August saw her for the first time, he fell in love at first sight. After this, over time, their closeness grew, and then the day came when they got married, and 3 years later, their family began to live happily. But over the years, Jean never found him close to herself. He was always entangled in his work and books. This began to bother her, and that's why she decided to leave him, because now their family will grow. She doesn't want her future children to have to endure all this. And even today, August does not comment on her statement because he really doesn't care about anyone. He was just thinking about his coming tomorrow. But today, when everything is over, that loneliness is truly hollowing him from within. And on top of that, this incurable disease is destroying him day by day, which led him to start drinking alcohol. As a result, his mental balance began to waver. Meanwhile, he receives a message from the Ketu planet. Yes, this is the same planet that August discovered, and he sent some of his company's people there, headed by Dr. Sully, whose work is now complete. They are trying to send this message to Earth, but they are unable to contact anyone. How could they, as Earth has become completely empty? But they don't know this yet. When August received this message, at first he did not understand who it was and what message they were conveying. His health has deteriorated so much that he doesn't remember anything from the past. Still, he tried hard and then remembered these were his own people sent to determine if there is life on Ketu. But now he has to stop them from coming because nothing is left here. But now he can only contact them after 6 or 7 hours because he doesn't have such a large antenna. So he can quickly make contact. Everything has deteriorated. Meanwhile, Dr. Sully also warns everyone present in her craft. They have made contact, but she is not entirely sure if the message has reached him. Meanwhile, we see the Ketu planet where everything is available for human species to be reborn. But to be reborn, there must also be humans. Who knows what happened to the people who left from here? We don't know if they are alive or not. And until the message arrives, he goes to get something to eat. But then a fire broke out in the kitchen, which terrified him greatly. But he managed to control the fire in time. But here he encountered something he had never imagined in this place. Actually, it was a little girl. Yes, where did this girl come from amidst this blood-freezing cold? This question kept coming to his mind repeatedly. So he finally asks her what her name is and where she is from. But she doesn't answer, so he thinks maybe she's scared. That's why he decided to give her some time so she could relax a bit. In the meantime, he remembered it was time to send the message back. But when he sat in front of the device, he realized that he didn't have any signal to send the message so far away. Then he thought that maybe there was some problem with his antenna, so he goes up and fixes its position. Then he came back down and tried again. But this time too, there was no response, and he understood that nothing would happen from here. He would have to go to a place where he could get a proper signal. Meanwhile, he remembers the girl. He went to her who was drawing something. After seeing it, he understood that she could neither speak nor hear. So he decided to name her Irish, just like his own name. This was the name he had thought of for his future daughter. Well, he could never meet her now. But he met this Irish who may have brought a new beginning into his life. Now he starts looking in some places where he can get a good signal. During this time, he also finds a place. But the biggest problem was Irish. He couldn't leave her because the journey was extremely long. Who knows when he would return? Nor could he take her with him because it was too cold outside. He was submerged in this dilemma the whole night. Meanwhile, he was preparing and Irish was helping him. With time, they started bonding well. So at the last moment, he decided to take her along because staying together would keep his courage intact. But friends, now a change is about to come in the story. Whatever comes in front of you now will shake you to the core. So just keep watching and enjoy. All around we see only snow. It was so cold that it could freeze your blood. But still, August is heading out as he has little time. At nightfall, they stop at a place because the cold has intensified. But during that time, an accident happens. The ice at the place where they set up their camp melts. As a result, they both fall into the water. But in time, August manages to get both himself and Irish out. But now they have nothing. That means everything they had for their needs has sunk. The only thing left are the clothes on their bodies, which means their journey ahead will have to be on foot. But the journey was filled with difficulties for August because his health was deteriorating. Old August gets tired repeatedly. He starts resting right where he is. Seeing this, Irish explained to him, "If you keep stopping like this, our journey will become longer. If you keep walking continuously, the distance will shorten." These words give him encouragement. That's why he stands up and starts walking again. 2 days have passed, but their destination is still far from them. Because of this, there wasn't a drop of life left in August's body. It becomes even more terrifying. Suddenly, a snowstorm arrived there. Snow began to blow rapidly all around, and Irish's hand slipped from August's, making him anxious as he frantically searched for her. The urgency on his face shows us the impact Irish has had on his life. After some time, he finally found her. Then they reached their destination, where they first ate something, and then August tried to make contact, which finally happens. Now he was able to talk to Dr. Sully, but before he could tell about the conditions on Earth, some stones started hitting their craft, breaking their connection once again. Here, August was once again troubled. He was worried they might come this way, but in reality, there was chaos on the craft. They had already lost their course because of the collision. And now, on top of that, there's this new trouble. But Dr. Sully
अब खुद बाहर अपनी एक साथी जाकर उन टूटी हुई चीजों को ठीक करने की कोशिश करती है ताकि जल्दी से दोबारा कनेक्शन मिल सके। लेकिन बाहर जाना खतरे से खाली नहीं है, क्योंकि वो जिस जगह पर रुके हैं वहां हर समय पर लगातार पत्थर ब्रह्मांड में तैर रहे हैं, पर फिर भी ये अपना काम पर डटे रहते हैं और समय रहते वायर को ठीक कर देते हैं जो कि टूट चुकी थी। लेकिन इससे पहले ये दोनों ही वापस अपने कॉकपिट में आ गए, दूसरे साथी से एक पत्थर आकर टकरा जाता है जिसमें वो बुरी तरह से घायल हो जाता। समय रहते ही उसे अंदर लेकर आ जाती है, पर जैसे ही उन्होंने उसके हेलमेट को हटाया, उसने ही उस समय अपना दम तोड़ दिया। उसकी मौत से पूरे क्राफ्ट में मातम छा गया, क्योंकि वो सबसे मिलनसार मेंबर था जिसे अपनी जान गवा दी। इस बीच सुली फिर से अगस्त से कांटेक्ट हो जाती है और इस बारी समय बर्बाद ना करके अगस्त ने उसे सब बता दिया। वो लोग पृथ्वी पर ना आए क्योंकि अब ये वो पृथ्वी नहीं रही जिसकी कल्पना वो लोग कर रहे हैं। सब कुछ बर्बाद हो चुका है। एक जहरीली गैस फैल चुकी है जिसके चलते जितने भी लोग मारे गए थे, बस कुछ चुनिंदा लोग जिंदा हैं आखिर में, जिन्हें उनकी सरकार लेकर चलेगी। लेकिन अब उनका कुछ भी अता पता नहीं है, इसीलिए तुम लोग वापस K2 लौट जाओ और वहां एक नए संसार की शुरुआत करो, क्योंकि वहां जीवन है, ऐसा तुम ही लोगों ने बताया। तब सुली पूछती है फिर आप वहां अकेले क्या कर रहे हो। उसने जवाब दिया कि उसकी तकदीर में अकेला ही पन लिखा है जिसे उसने अपना लिया है, लेकिन ये लोग रास्ता भटक चुके हैं। तो अगस्त ने उन्हें सही रास्ता बताता है और कहता है कि हमेशा केटू को बुरे लोगों से बचाना और ज्यादा की लालच में मत पड़ना, वरना उसकी हालत भी पृथ्वी जैसी हो जाएगी। सही लोकेशन मिलने पर ये लोग बहुत खुश थे, लेकिन इनका एक साथी है जो केटू नहीं जाना चाहता। उसका कहना है कि वो पृथ्वी पर जाएगा क्योंकि वहां उसकी पत्नी, उसके बच्चे इंतजार कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि उन्होंने उसे वादा किया था। पर अगस्त उसे समझाता है कि यहाँ कोई नहीं है, यहाँ पर मत आओ। वो नहीं मानता, अपनी जिद पर अड़ा रहता है, जो देख बाकी के लोग भी हार मान गए और कहा कि ठीक है, अगर तुम यही चाहते हो तो तुम जा सकते हो, हम लोग वापस केटू जा रहे हैं। एक एक्स्ट्रा क्यूब की मदद से उन्होंने उसे पृथ्वी की तरफ भेज दिया। इन लोगों ने अपने क्राफ्ट को केटू की लोकेशन की तरफ रख दिया। इधर अभी भी अगस्त और सूली की बातें चल रही है, जिसमें वो उसे बताती है कि हमेशा से जब से वो बच्ची थी तब से वो उसका रोल मॉडल रहे, क्योंकि उन्हें उनकी वजह से एस्ट्रोनॉट बनी और बाद में उनकी कंपनी ने उसे मौका दिया इस ब्रह्मांड की खूबसूरती को देखने का। इसीलिए वो उनका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती है। यहाँ तक कि उसकी माँ मिसेस जीन्स भी उसे बहुत प्रभावित थी, हमेशा ही उनके बारे में बात किया करती थी। ये सुनने के बाद अगस्त की जिंदगी मानो थम सी गई। मिस्टर जीन्स, आपको कुछ याद आया? सांसें तेज तेज वो लेने लग गया, लेकिन जबान से कुछ निकला नहीं उसके, क्योंकि सब कुछ उसकी आंखों से बयान हो रहा था। जब उसने उससे पूछा कि उसका पूरा नाम क्या है, तो उसने बताया कि डॉक्टर सुली आयरिश। ये सुनने के बाद तो मानो उसकी जिंदगी का मकसद पूरा हो गया। लेकिन एक मिनट, फिर वो बच्ची कौन थी? इसी सवाल के जवाब के लिए वो बाहर भागती हुई गया, लेकिन वहां तो कोई नहीं था। जी हाँ दोस्तों, वो बच्ची सिर्फ एक कल्पना थी जो अगस्त ने अपने दिमाग में बनाई थी, ताकि वो कुछ दिन और इसी के बहाने जी सके, ताकि इसी बहाने उसकी असल की बेटी जिंदगी खत्म ना हो। अगर वो पहले ही मर जाता अपनी बीमारी से, तो शायद आज ये पूरा क्रू भी यूं ही भटकता रहता और आखिर में मर जाता। लेकिन अगस्त के दिमाग ने आज उसकी जान बचा ली, उसकी बेटी और कई सारे लोगों को एक नई जिंदगी दी। लेकिन कभी आयरिश को ये पता चल पाएगा जिस दुनिया के आखिरी शख्स से वो बात करी वो असल में उसके पिता ही है। अब मीलों का फासला था दोनों में, लेकिन खून के रिश्ते ने उन्हें बार बार जोड़े रखा। इसी को मुकद्दर कहते हैं। किसी को नहीं पता कि कब क्या हो जाए, कब कहां और कैसे कोई हमें मिल जाए। इसी के साथ ये कहानी यहीं पर समाप्त होती है। आपको कहानी कैसी लगी हमें कमेंट करके जरूर बताएगा। मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में। थैंक यू सो मच वॉचिंग। पीस आउट।